up, Taurus Collective? Thank you for joining me for your energy reading. My name is Keita. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm going to be doing a shadow work reading for y'all, and I done already pulled the tarot because I was like, you know what? I'm being led to use an extra deck, and I want to make sure that I have time and that I fully understand the message that's coming out. So I went ahead and pulled the tarot, and I'm going to clarify with some oracle messages. But y'all got some type of friendship dynamic that is moving into something else. It's evolving into some other kind of a dynamic that involves commitment, taking things one day at a time, moving in the same direction, and elevating and growing together. You got the Three of Cups here, where you have these three individuals in the parks, like somewhat of a social setting, and you got these two women. So this could very well be speaking to a third party situation where there is a masculine and there's two women involved, right? Or it just could be someone that you have a more casual connection with, a friendship, right? But with the Knight of Pentacles, this is telling me that over time, this has been on somebody's mind to slowly, methodically, patiently move this into a partnership with the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, you got these two individuals here, both holding on to a staff, sitting on a tree stump. One is sitting on a tree stump, the other standing behind it, looking like they're taking one of them J.C. Penney, one of them J.C. Penney, family photos or whatever. And then he's got the world in his hand, and they both looking in the same direction. So this is getting on the same page in partnership and taking the next step in the connection, being bold and ambitious with your decision making, and partnering with those who share your dreams, expanding your plans, and continuing to move forward. Now keep in mind, if this is a third party situation, honey, we done went from three people to one who's planning and thinking, and he done got off his horse. So that means there was some time where there was less action and more planning taking place, right? And putting things in order. And then you got two people. So you done went from three to one in solitude to two, which means he emerged out of his solitude into partnering with somebody. So that is very significant with the last card that came out being the World card, which is major arcana, making major moves, elevating, growing. For some of you, moving, because the World card can represent travel, and next to the Two of Wands, that definitely can mean travel. So you and somebody may be relocating, but whatever it is, you're taking this thing to the next level, and you're experiencing victory in this dynamic because you have brilliant success, a time of joyful accomplishment, and spiritual enlightenment. Freedom to do whatever you want and be proud of yourself. The world being symbolic of liberation and freedom, that is the part to me that's speaking to the shadow work in this reading. Because for many of you, especially in Taurus energy, y'all all about this Pentacles energy, the earth energy, Taurus being an earth sign, right? And things need to be aligned and in order for y'all, especially as it relates to home and security. And so one of the things that may have kept this friendship dynamic from evolving with this Three of Cups to evolving to the Two of Wands is concerns about finances or stability, or not having a plan, not knowing which direction to take in the 3D reality. But there's some passion that is leading you to overcome that and not let that hold you back from building the foundation and moving forward and leveling up. This woman is floating in the air. She has all of the elements represented here with these medallions that are hanging, and she has the infinity symbol over her head. She has a silver one and a gold one, which speaks to the alchemy that has taken place to get to this point. The world is like graduation, marriage, courtship, commitment, moving to the next level, in a, not just the next level, but a higher level, elevation, ascension. So that is what is in store for you guys, or taking place. But we're gonna expound on the shadow aspects of this message for Spirit. Please clarify this message for the Taurus collective. Face down, it fell on top of the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. It's become more objective, which is what needed to take place in order to move this thing forward. So I'm going to read the message of, and you got this person standing kind of like at a cross. It's a woman. She has on a kind of yellow like cloth, which is speaking to me about the solar plexus and having the confidence to be objective. She has a snake in one hand and a cup in another, because in order to, so that snake represents for me like that root chakra, sacral chakra energy, that kundalini energy. So going through that kundalini awakening has influenced someone becoming more objective. But also with that cup, that's giving me Ace of Cups, learning to be more self-loving and making a self-honoring decision in this matter. It's represented by the number 4, which speaks to safety, security, and foundation. So like becoming more objective in this situation is like doing is what has helped you make the decision that's best for the dynamic, opposed to what others have to say, but also like having that balance of being considerate. You know what I'm saying? Being considerate of others, and also doing what's best and true for you in your dynamic, right? Because you can't please everybody all the time, but you want to at least consider everything that's involved before making your final decision. It says, develop a compassionate attitude towards yourself and others. You are being challenged to step out of your subjective experience of what has been done to you and look at a situation objectively. If a person has acted in a hurtful, dishonorable way towards you, you have an opportunity to understand the real cause that has made them behave like this. Often this cause can be found in what they have experienced in their childhood, which would point toward the lessons they've brought from other lives. This is a chance to develop compassion and see the situation differently. You are being asked to objectively look at yourself and what role you have had in creating a challenging situation. If you can truly learn the lessons in this experience, you can move on to something different. If not, you will be stuck in a constant pattern of repeating the old. Again, this is very much supporting that energy of there having once been, or there being a third party situation. Third party ain't necessarily got to be you are in a relationship with a man and you're a woman and there's another woman, or you know what I'm saying. A third party could be a job that they allow to come between the connection, anything that they allow to be a distraction or build a wedge between the union of the connection could be a third party. The third party could be their mama. The third party could be their daddy. The third party could be their financial situation, whatever they allow to take precedence over true love would be a third party situation. And so we want to be mindful of that, but in our moving forward from that knowing, being compassionate about where that stems from, where they got that from, how they ended up in that place of feeling that way. So like say if it's money and they're like, I don't feel like I'm financially stable enough for this connection, and therefore I'm not going to commit to it. Just our 1001, which may be significant to those of you who are on the twin flame journey. Think about how abandonment wounds from childhood would contribute to that. Growing up in poverty or having developed lack consciousness in some way. For many of us, and I mean us, lack consciousness stems from generations. You know what I'm saying? I was born into this shit. So yeah, I've showed up in some ways that were symbolic of me having lack consciousness. But when you know better, you do better. When you put in that work to learn, to plan, to process, to elevate and grow, and you want to grow in the same direction as somebody else, and you want to see success and progress with somebody else, you do the work to overcome those things. But you don't want to, and y'all do what y'all want to do, but you don't want to miss out on a great opportunity to connect or unite with someone when they've learned whatever lesson needed to be learned. You want to be objective. You know what I'm saying? You want to consider all things involved, just saw 1122, which may be significant as well. There's an action item with this card. It says, reflect on old patterns that keep coming up in your life. Where do you keep creating similar types of painful, hurtful experiences? Try to view them as if you were a therapist, or even better, a higher being. How can you change and do something different, even though everything inside you wants to react in the same old manner? Ask, what is the lesson, and what new action do I need to employ to learn it? This could be to forgive the other, or it could be to gently confront them, or even take some time out for self-healing. So make sure that you're not so engulfed in these dynamics and what it looked like on the surface, that you're not taking time out to really examine and go deep. Like, you can't do shit about the other person's growth and healing, right? All you can do is focus on your own. God, what has this come to teach me? That is your shadow work. You don't want to walk around with malice in your heart towards somebody for how they show up, because just 1227, which may be significant to someone, but you don't want to walk around with malice in your heart towards somebody for what they've done to you or how they've shown up, and you play the victim and you standing in victim mode about it, because that's you relinquishing your power to that person, and then you reap the karma of vibrating on that frequency, because it don't care who, what. All it knows is that that's how you operate, right? So we want to be mindful of that. At the top of the deck, you have support, and you guys may want to check out the what was that I did before this? Cancer. You may want to check out the Cancer reading, because the Cancer reading had heavy emphasis on having support during a dark night of the soul or ego death. So for some of you, you may resonate with that. This is represented by the number 36. And with you have support, this individual has taken off their mask and then still has a blindfold on. So that you know you scared to face the truth when you go through all of that. But you are being advised that you have support. 2 of Wands energy, that is support. Hell, 3 of Cups energy is support. That friendship, that community. So you definitely have support showing up here, and that's the thing that's going to lead you to success. But success for you, whoever I'm speaking to, or the person that you are connected with, this Knight of Pentacles energy, or whoever's showing up in this 2 of Wands energy with you, is they need to learn to say no. Draw them boundaries. It's a no for me. Learn to say no so that you can have this world energy, this victory, this elevation, this growth, this ascension, and walk into this new bountiful, abundant cycle for yourself. And the way she looking is like, I said no, and don't ask me again. Say it in a different language if you need to. Nah, no, L, no, A. Like, look, however you need to get your point across, you needing to just no. And as a matter of fact, don't say no too many times. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And if they keep asking, don't answer the phone. Don't respond to the text. Don't respond to the email. But y'all are being called to stand on business. It's a no for me, represented by the number 16, which breaks down to a 7. Because as much as people love to believe that spirituality is all about love and light and yeses and showing up and doing the things and service and charity, you know what I'm saying, and gumdrops and Skittles. No, God's love looks like no. God tells us no sometimes out of love for us. And that is the bottom line, love. So if you have love, this cup that she's holding on this side right here for yourself, yeah, you're going to strengthen your capacity to say no and stand on that no. And I'm telling y'all, it's like building a muscle. You got to work that thing out and it's going to grow. And at first you're going to feel like a scumbag for saying no, but stand on your no. And because standing on your no is so important to your elevation, to your victory, to your growth, to you moving forward in divine mission, I'm gonna read the message of no. And for some of y'all, you're gonna have to say no. I mean, all of y'all, even in your love connections, you got to have boundaries. No, baby, I'm not doing that. That ain't for me. I don't want to do that. It's okay to say no. The person who loves you is going to be all right with your no. So, well, depending on what it is, they're going to love you regardless if they love from Christ consciousness, from a mature place, from an emotionally intelligent place. But your no will show you who is in alignment with you and who's not. Your no will eliminate a lot of fake shit and fake people around you. No's will eliminate a lot of people who not on your level, who not aligned with you, simply by you just standing on your no. Because one thing about it, if you're the type of person who will say no, but you don't stand on it, and people know they can convince you even after you say it no to do something different, then people know that they can puppet you. They can pull your strings. So it says it's time to stop pushing and forcing things to happen. Stop pushing and forcing things to happen by saying yes all the time and giving in to people's demands on your energy and your time. It says whatever you're trying to create right now, the timing is off. If you are constantly hitting roadblocks, it's because you're either focusing on the wrong thing, or the person you're trying to create a business or a relationship with is either not ready or suitable for you at this point. You need to relax and stop trying to push and force things to happen. This resistance comes from higher beings because you need to bring the focus back to yourself and become aware of which aspect you need to mature. If you continue to push, the result will be harmful. Give yourself time to focus on a new direction. This card asks you to practice tuning in and saying no to opportunities and requests from others which compromise your integrity. This could mean letting go of relationships where you are feeling drained. You're also being asked to say no to unhealthy food and drink substances, as well as any activities that waste your time and sap your energy. You can say no with a kind heart, knowing that you are looking after yourself. You're going to have to look after your star player. I don't give a damn what other kinds of dynamics that you have going on in your life. You got to make sure your star player is straight. For those of you who this resonates with, whom you've been putting your time, effort, and energy into a situation that has not proven to be fruitful for you, stand on your no. Because your elevation, your ascension, your growth, it depends on it. But the rest of the messages in this card really speak to aligning with someone in some capacity and moving toward success. But it requires you to stand on business, to set those boundaries, to say no. Know that your no is a self-love practice. It's just as much of an affirmation as a lot of this other fluffy poetic shit that we say. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I wanted to go ahead and read pull the tarot is because I'm also being led to pull from the Amenti Oracle. The Amenti Oracle is based on the 42 laws of Ma'at, based on ancient Egyptian or ancient Kemetic spirituality. And the 42 laws of Ma'at is the basically the original 10 commandments. They drew from the 42 laws of Ma'at, which is the law that the Egyptians basically lived by to govern whether or not a person was living with a feather-like heart. And when you went through a death cycle or someone died, it is said that their heart was weighed on a scale by Anubis, and that if their heart was not as light as a feather, they were devoured in the afterlife. They did not move on to another realm. So I'm going to clarify this message to see where one might be out of alignment or have been out of alignment with the 42 laws of Ma'at in this situation. Spirit, where does the shadow work need to take place? I honor virtue. Needing to honor that which is virtuous in your life, and it fell face down. So this is something that many of you may not be aware of, or the person that you've been involved with may not have even been aware of how important having virtuous energy, high vibrational God or goddess energy in their life. They probably didn't value that. Yep. What I say, I had not turned this card over yet. I praise the goddess and the God. So you got honor virtue with this woman here and those 4 like obelisk towers behind her. Again, we had the number 4. We become more objective, that need to consider all sides of things and be forgiving and understanding and compassionate in a situation. And then you got I praise the goddess and the God, looking at the light and dark in the situation, the yin and yang, the masculine and the feminine aspects that present themselves. And then at the top of the deck, I remain in balance with my emotions. Someone was once not, again, that yin and yang, that balance, that temperance energy, not their emotions and the way they showed up, emotionally intelligent or the lack thereof, it wasn't in balance. And at the bottom of the deck, I am forgiving, needing to be forgiving in this situation. And sometimes you can be forgiving and still say no. I ran into an ex a couple of days ago, and I was so glad to see him because he had been on my mind, not in the way of like wanting to get back together or anything, but I'd always kind of wished that we could just sit down and have a productive conversation about how things ended so that we can move forward and on from the situation with a better understanding of where each other were coming from, right? That, I guess, closure conversation, but I feel like I had closure. But we run in similar circles. So I'm just like, we gonna see each other, and I don't have no problem with the communicating, and that I actually forgive this person. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a conversation would do us justice in terms of really laying this shit to rest, right? And lo and behold, I saw them and was able to have a conversation. And when I tell you my no is still no, my no is still no, and I still forgive. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold no malice or low vibrational energies toward this individual. It's all love. But and I was able to see all sides of the situation and be objective. But I'm on this type of time, this world card energy, upward and onward. You know what I'm saying? And in order to move forward lighter, we have to get that type of shit off our chest, or forgive it and leave it in the past, give it its proper funeral, so to speak. So that is the shadow work for many of you. And I hope this message found you well. If it did not find you well, I hope that something was said that leaves you well. If you are needing a personal reading, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. If you have not already. And if you'd like to donate, my information is in the description box below. I am going to be doing a live an episode of co-creating with the lady Miss Vagina Jenkins, and we're going to be talking astrology as I will be celebrating my 40th birthday soon. So I hope that you guys will tap in with me over on Instagram for that. If you miss it, I plan to post the replay over here on YouTube. So yeah, I imagine next week gonna be a little busy for me as I try to balance taking care of some things as well as having some time to myself. It is so important to me that I move into this next decade with a clear mind, you know what I'm saying, in a peaceful, centered space. And so I want to take some time to do that as well. But yeah, y'all stay tapped in and tuned in to what I got going on over here with Turquoise Majesty. And until next time, peace.